Retro Mondays.
Hey gamers, I'm K-Wing, and it's time to turn your Monday into a fun day. That's right, Retro Mondays is back, and this classic game is brought to you by Top Gun's popularity and Yu Suzuki, the same guy behind arcade greats Outrun and Virtua Fighter. Did you know that even though an F-15 is on the box for this game, you fly as an F-14 Tomcat? Now, when I was a kid, I totally wanted to fly one of these to school really bad. That or show up in the Keaton-mobile. Anyway, this sequel released in 1987 for the arcades and then in 1990 for the Mega Drive and Sega Genesis. Now, AFTERBURNER II was easily one of the best looking games the Genesis had to offer. Not to mention smooth, fast-paced gameplay, and you got to fly an F-14. The music was also incredible, and players felt so rad dodging incoming enemy fire while listening to this! Now, if memory serves me right, AFTERBURNER II is still ranked as one of the top 30 Mega Drive/Genesis games of all time. Because of its awesome arcade goodness, which you could play in the comfort of your own living room. This game was awesome. In case you hadn't figured it out though, this is not your typical combat or even flight sim game. Nope, this is Outrun with bullets, kill or be killed. You know, back when games weren't complicated. AFTERBURNER II did have two rules for pilots and gamers to follow though. Number 1, blast everything in sight out of the sky. And number 2, don't get shot down. You wouldn't believe how hard it is keeping rule number 2, by the way. If you did manage to last long enough, a refueling plane would give you more missiles before the start of the next level. AFTERBURNER II featured 21 levels in total, which was 3 more than AFTERBURNER, and the gameplay remains pretty much the same as before. Now, while bullets are unlimited, missiles are still something you need to be very careful with. Because trust me, you don't want to run out of missiles because there's no power-ups in this game at all. It's all about conserving your ammo and taking out your target before he takes you out. To help you make it out of the danger zone intact, a throttle has been added. But you don't really notice the increase in speed at all. Still, not wanting to make the game too easy for arcade dwellers, Suzuki added missiles that follow behind you and enemy aces that stuck to you like glue. So not only do you need to mind the enemies in front of you, but also those breathing down your neck. Thankfully though, missiles could be fired more rapidly than before, so it did help you get out of a pinch, unless you were waiting for Iceman to help bail you out, but there's no wingman to help you. Still, this game is tough, by the very definition of the word, extremely, and it only offered 3 continues. In fact, very few have actually seen this game's ending screen, so here you go. See, back in my day, all we cared about was high scores, everything else was kittens. AFTERBURNER II was still one of the must-have games for the Sega Genesis, but the series still ended up fading into obscurity. Or did it? For some reason, Sega decided to mask the series and release several arcade games under different names, G-Lock and Strike Fighter, both of which actually did appear on Sega's different home consoles. Strike Fighter was actually renamed AFTERBURNER III, though it was actually nothing like the past AFTERBURNER games and was just a poorly done port of Strike Fighter. Sky Target released in 1995 for Windows and Sega Saturn, and the game wasn't that bad, your jet just moved really slow and lacked the heart-pounding action of AFTERBURNER II. In 2000, Sega released Sega Strike Fighter, though this game was only in the arcades and was more like G-Lock and less like an on-rail shooter. However, in 2006, Sega released AFTERBURNER Climax and brought the series back for the modern age. 4 years later, it was ported for Xbox Live and PSN. PSP actually got its own game in 2007 called AFTERBURNER Falcon. While the graphics and music were absolutely dreadful, the gameplay was very similar to AFTERBURNER II. As for today, Afterburner only lives on in a stage cameo for the latest Sonic Transform Racing on Wii U, PS3, and Xbox 360, along with Outrun. But honestly, what more can I say about this great game? Afterburner 2 was excellent. It had everything: fantastic music, intense nail-biting gameplay, and it was just so much fun to play. But sadly, aside from Climax, playing this game is a bit difficult these days. It was never released on the Wii's Virtual Console, nor the massive Sonic Genesis collection from a few years ago on PS3 and 360. Which I actually find pretty strange. Maybe it had something to do with copyright or something, I don't know. Anyway, Afterburner 2 did get an updated remake for the Sega Ages collection on PS2, and it was pretty solid and a lot of fun to play. Still, in order to find this Genesis gem, you'll need to check your local retro outlet or hit up eBay. No worries, Genesis games are nice price-wise to collect for, so it's not gonna hurt your wallet too much. Believe me, you're gonna want this awesome Genesis game as part of your collection. It's that good. Well, thus ends another Retro Mondays. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to contact me on Facebook or Twitter if you have any questions. Till next time, gamers, God bless and happy gaming. See you later, K-fans.